Do you ever feel that when you've been sitting for a while or lying down for a while, standing up and moving is so much more challenging? If so, you're not alone. It's actually something that's really common in people who have multiple sclerosis. My name is Dr. Gretchen. I'm a physical therapist and multiple sclerosis specialist. I'm going to explain exactly why that happens and what you can do about it. What I want you to think about when it comes to stiffness or poor mobility after sitting or lying down for a while is to think about how long you've been sitting or how long you've been lying down, and then expecting your muscles to just work the way they normally should when you get up and move. And most of the time, that doesn't actually work. Essentially, our muscles are sleepwalking. For some people, if you're sitting for 5 minutes, you can stand up and move and you're totally fine. For other people, 5 minutes might be too long. You might stand up and feel really stiff and rigid and you can't move the way that you want. Or maybe you're lying down to nap for 30 minutes and you feel fine, but 8 hours overnight is way too long. You try to get out of bed in the morning and you're just really feeling stiff. Your legs aren't working. You feel wobbly and unbalanced. It's because your muscles and neural pathways are essentially sleepwalking. You didn't wake them up. Your muscles and neural pathways turned off when you were sitting for a while or lying down for a while, regardless of how long that was. And because they fell asleep, they weren't working, they say, you know what? I'm turning down. I'm not going to help out right now. I'm not needed. They don't wake up when you want them to. So, lucky for you, there are some exercises that you can do to wake up your muscles and to wake up your neural pathways so that anytime you go to stand up and move after you've been sitting or lying down, your muscles and neural pathways will be warmed up and you'll be ready to go balanced and walking. So let's talk about the exercises. There are 3 muscle groups that need to be activated in order to stand up and walk while also maintaining balance. Those muscles are the hip flexors, the knee flexors, and the ankle dorsiflexors on the front of our ankles. So what you want to do is warm up those muscles. Now, the beauty of warming up is that it is not the same as regular strength training. So, for example, a perfect way to warm up your hip flexors is to do seated marching. When I have my clients do seated marching as a strengthening exercise, I will guide them to sit up tall and to slowly lift, pause, then slowly down, and the whole movement is slow and steady. But when you're doing this just to warm up the muscles and neural pathways, you don't need to go nice and slow, and you do not need to lift as high as you possibly can. So when you're doing this to warm up, it can look like this. Or you can even recline backwards if that makes it easier. And you're just lifting side to side. Again, it doesn't matter how high you are lifting. You're just trying to wake up those hip flexors. The second exercise is to straighten and bend your knee. So again, if we were doing this for a strengthening exercise, I'd have you scoot back in your chair and you would slowly straighten and then slowly bend. And you would do the same thing on the other side. But to warm up your muscles, you're just going to kick forward at whatever speed you can, whatever motion feels good to you. By doing this, you're warming up your quad muscles and the back muscles, your hamstrings. And lastly, we got to warm up the ankles. If the ankles aren't working, you're more likely to have foot drop. If you were doing this for a strengthening exercise, you would slowly lift one or both of your ankles and then slowly lower. But again, we're not doing this for strengthening. We're just trying to warm our muscles up. So whatever pace you can go, up, down, up, down. Doesn't matter how high you're lifting, whatever you can do. You can even add some ankle lifts if you want to. There's no rules to these. You just gotta wake them up and move in whatever way you can. So let's recap. You've been sitting for a while or lying down for a while, and you need to get up and move. This is what you're going to do before you get up. You're going to do some marches for maybe about 20 seconds or so. Then you're going to do some leg kicks, also about 20 seconds. And then you're going to do some ankle lifts, maybe some heels too, totally up to you. Again, about 20 seconds, whatever works for you. Then you're going to stop, feet come wide, hinge forward, and stand up. And then you'll be good to go. This is my favorite strategy for warming up your muscles and your neural pathways so that when you stand up, you're feeling stable and safe and good mobility. For more tips and tricks like this, feel free to check out my Instagram at dr.gretchen.